Today is June 16th, and today's quote is called "The Mind's Energy." Our body is energized by our mind. When inspired, we sleep less. When inspired, we have more energy. Everyone experiences that. I used to. I remember sometimes you'd mention the word Sankirtan, and the devotees that didn't like Sankirtan, that would be like their cue to fall asleep. It would just make them tired. or mention japa, or mention time for Srimad Bhagavatam class, kind of like would put people to sleep. And of course you'd mention prasadam and everyone would wake up. So it's important to understand this, because we need to be inspired in Krishna consciousness, and there are many things we can do that are very inspiring, that are in line with our nature. When we talk about them, we get inspiration, and there are other things we talk about and we don't get inspiration. So we have to be inspired. It's very, very important. And a lot of times if you're feeling lethargic, not so enthused, lack of energy, it's really just the mind is not finding some service or some activity that's inspiring, and then the whole energy level goes down, and then sometimes apathy or lethargy sets in. And probably you've experienced sometimes you've been very inspired and you just woke up very early. You didn't set your alarm, you just got up, because the mind does give the body energy. And sometimes our Prabhupada would be a little concerned when devotees were sleeping too much. And why was he concerned? Well, he was concerned that they're not inspired. In the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was concerned when he saw devotees becoming fat. Why was he concerned? He was concerned that they're not inspired in Krishna consciousness, and as a result they're eating, because eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are symptomatic of material life. And also when a devotee is weak or not inspired in Krishna consciousness, there'll be a tendency to eat, sleep, mate, and defend. A greater tendency. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was really worried about disciples who were becoming overweight, thinking they're becoming sense enjoyers. And in that sense, Prabhupada was a little concerned that we not sleep more than required, and seeing that as a symptom of lack of Krishna consciousness, lack of inspiration. And Prabhupada knew that if we're well situated in Krishna consciousness, we'll be inspired. If we chant well, if we chant good rounds, we'll be inspired. If we have good sadhana for hearing his books, we'll be inspired. And naturally, when that inspiration is there, the sleeping and the eating will be, I would say, the word is minimized, but I would rather say we would eat and sleep as much as we require, not more than we require. And often we think we require more than we do require. So anyway, I think you all understand this, that as you see you're sleeping more, if you're physically healthy, it's probably a sign that you're lacking some inspiration. And the way it often works in Krishna consciousness is if you minimize the time you spend in service, in reading, in chanting, or the quality of your reading and chanting, you lose inspiration. When you lose inspiration, there's a tendency to sleep more, and sometimes it's subconscious, you just sleep more. When you're more inspired, sometimes you just wake up early. So there is energy that comes from the mind to the body. We all know this. We all have experience of this, because we know what it's like when we're inspired by something, and we feel that energy, and it's not something physical. So it's always good to be aware of that, and if we are feeling somewhat of a lack of enthusiasm or lack of energy, to go back and say, is it really a physical problem? Is it really a circumstantial problem? Or is it just that I've lost enthusiasm? I'm not doing my sadhana well, and therefore my desire for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending is increasing. Yes. The more you become Krishna conscious, the less you want to eat, sleep, mate, and defend. Prabhupada once, 1976, he couldn't sleep one night, and his eating was also quite limited. His digestion wasn't good. And so his servant was up late at night, and Prabhupada came and said, "Oh, you're also awake. You can't sleep either?" And he said, "No, Prabhupada, I have some work I'm trying to finish." And Prabhupada said, I can hardly sleep now. I can hardly eat. No question, mating and defending. So he was joking. Prabhupada said, "I guess I'm liberated." And he said, "I always prayed to Krishna that I could overcome eating, sleeping, mating, and defending." So that's the desire of the pure devotee, to completely eliminate those things. Hare Krishna.